I'm Megan Hughes, President of the Community College of Rhode Island. Welcome to Moving Forward at CCRI, our monthly web series where we discuss important work being done at our college with the people that are making it happen. This month, we're turning our focus to the value of experiential learning. We are so fortunate to be joined by Sandy Sneesby, Associate Professor of Communication at CCRI, and Stefano Pietrafesa, a student in our communication program. Thank you both so much for being here today. So Sandy, let me start with you. You and I know, and Stefano knows, experiential work is so critical to student success at our college. We see it prominently on display in our healthcare programs, where clinical work, so students actually going out into hospitals and into healthcare facilities, is a required part of their learning and of the curriculum. We know it's a growth area and an opportunity for our college to sort of take that concept and scale it across our curricula. And it's one that is important, I know, to our students and to our community. As we go out into the business community and talk to employers about what they need, what I hear basically every day is they're saying they really love our students and they want our students to have that real life, actual work experience. And I know that you want it. So with that as frame, Sandy, I know it's an issue that you have identified, that you're really passionate about. I know that under your guidance this semester, we have launched an internet radio station with the intent of giving our communication students real life experience. So talk to us about that. Tell us why you've done it. Tell us why it matters to you, and then we'll engage Stefano in the conversation as well.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you, President Hughes, for being supportive of our communication program. You and Vice President Enright and Costigan have given us the foundation to be able to offer this to our students, so thank you. So yes, I feel very passionate about experiential learning. I feel it's very, very important that students are able to practice their craft that they're learning. So they're learning in the classroom, but then they're taking it to that next level and actually doing what they're learning about. Most of our students are makers. They're media makers. They want to contribute to the conversation in the world. They want to advocate for an issue that they're passionate about. So we want to help them do that. And so we're looking to give them three things. Knowledge, how to communicate orally and written. We want them to have internal experiential learning opportunities to practice, as well as external internships, and to leave here with a portfolio of work that they've actually created. And so the station was sort of a natural way to do that. It allows them to work together as a team. It allows them to practice collaboration. It allows them to write stories, and it allows them to articulate. So it's really been a perfect starting point for our students.
That's perfect, thank you. And so Stefano, you've heard what Professor Sneesby has said, and I know you've been involved really in the planning and the launch of this new station since the beginning, and so you're clearly really committed to this type of learning. Tell us why. Why do you want to be a part of this, and why do you think it matters?
Well, the hands-on experiences allow me to take my classroom experiences and put them to practical use. It challenges me to come up with on-the-fly solutions when things don't pan out exactly how they were taught. At the same time, it allows me to become more engaged on campus, creating connections and personal relationships not only with my teachers, but with the fellow students who are involved in the same field that I am. And when you're in the field doing some of these activities, you're able to work together and really lean on each other to come up with solutions. And whereas in the classroom, these problems will be taken directly to a teacher, where we can just come together and work on them and figure them out ourselves. Lastly, it's really helped me to build a professional portfolio that I can really bring to any other college or employer, whereas before, my transcripts were probably the only thing I had to show for myself.
No, it's great, and when I sort of reflect what I just heard you say, I feel like what I heard you say is, the classroom work is essential, and as a very long-time academic, I would insist that it's essential. But that description that you gave about this team, right? So the folks that are watching can't see what's happening behind us. You all figuring out how to make this happen is what's going to enable you to go out into the workplace and have the confidence that you can do that because you've already done it right here. And I mean, we're living it right now. So
Exactly.
I really agree with the sort of the marriage that you described of that classroom learning and then the experiential learning just going together hand in hand. So with that, Sandy, tell us from your perspective, can you just describe for our viewers what kind of work will our students be doing at this new station, and how are you really making sure that the kind of experience that Stefano just described really happens?
So we're very fortunate and blessed that we have a part-time professor, Lydia Rogers, who spent 20 years in professional radio. So she has been invaluable to us. We also belong to a national collegiate radio organization that holds conferences and keeps us up to date with what's happening in radio. How should we be providing content over the internet versus terrestrial radio? So they've been great. And we've created a workflow here. We require our students to follow FCC policies as well as college policies, and they're required to stick to those. We, the college, the faculty, sort of oversee the station, but the students run it and create the content. And so adhering to the standards, working together, taking our industry, the input from industry and the experience of people like Lydia, we've been able to provide them with a real life experience in the booth and in the recording studio.
That's a great sort of overview. And Stefano, I'll close with you. I frequently ask questions in 3 parts, so it's 3 parts, and I can come back to it. Okay. I think it's 3 parts, we'll see. Sort of first, just describe what you think you've actually learned from being part of this station. Provide just an example. So just step back and think about, you're going to tell us what you've learned, and then just tell us a story that demonstrates that learning. It can just be sort of one thing, and then tell us what you want to do after you graduate. So what have you learned? Tell us a story that sort of shows that, and then what do you want to do after you graduate?
Well, I've really been able to learn to work together with my peers. One example of this would be when creating the radio station, we ran into a couple problems learning just how to use the software, and just being able to look over to my peer and ask for some help, and we can just work off each other just to figure out how to get it going and how to get it started. And moving forward, I plan to keep the momentum going by transferring in the spring to another school, which will hopefully allow me to build my portfolio up a little more and get a job in the field someday.
So it's interesting listening to you describe that that software challenge. I'm reminded of a conversation I had yesterday that was out in the sort of business community, and it was folks looking to hire our graduates, and one of the attributes that was just surfaced as one of the most important sort of skills that they're looking for is this idea of, you described it as a challenge. I think you could describe it as a challenge or really as a failure, right? The software failed the first time. So what did you all do about that? And for me, that really embodies the kind of experiential learning that this kind of work at the radio station will enable you to have, so that again, when you go out to that sort of first job in this space, you'll remember that. You'll draw on, oh, that's right, it didn't work the first time, but we came together as a team and we figured it out, and it worked, I don't know, the 3rd or the 4th time. So it's a great example. Thank you both for being with us today, and really just for your passion. You can hear it from both of you. I think we're fortunate to have both of you as leaders in this work. I'm inspired. I know that our viewers will be, and just thank you so much for the work you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So thanks again to Sandy Sneesby and Stefano Pietrafesa for being here today. Thank you as well to Norm Grant for producing this program, and our absolutely incredible crew of students behind the cameras and behind the scenes. We look forward to speaking with you again next month on Moving Forward at CCRI.
Yeah,